For 3 consecutive seasons, the Seton Hall Pirates women's basketball team has won 20 games and has participated in the postseason, the last 2 seasons participating in the NCAA tournament. And joining me right now is the 4th-year head coach at Seton Hall University, Tony Bozzella. And first of all, Tony, thank you so very much for joining us once again. Time just flies. It's the 3rd time we've been doing this.
Like I just saw you. It's great. I'm so happy to be here again. You do a wonderful job.
Oh, thank you so very much. Another year, another NCAA tournament. It's almost the norm at Seton Hall, isn't it?
Well, it's hard work, and hopefully it will become the norm. There's a lot of challenges ahead of us and a lot of hard work ahead of us, but I'm very proud of the first 3 groups we've had at Seton Hall, and the last 2 groups have really made it special.
Last season, finishing tied for 2nd in the Big East, getting an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament, but for the 2nd consecutive year, not able to actually win in the tournament. How would you assess last season? Before we jump into this season, I know each season is independent of each other, but how would you assess last season?
No, and I think they kind of are important to each other, though. I know they're independent, but they're important because our success from our first year to our 2nd year to our 3rd year has enabled us to bring in a lot of the kids that we have, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But no, I think it was a successful year. I mean, anytime you finish 2nd in the Big East, win 23 games, have the amount of injuries that we had, lose the players that we had at either for the year or the times that we had, ranked top 20 in the country at some point, get an at-large berth. We're the only non-BCS school in the country to get 2 at-large berths in a row in the NCAA tournament. So it was a success. We had great kids, all graduated, and we set a lot of school records, but most importantly, we kept the school's name out there in a positive way.
This is part of the program building. People talk about the proverbial 5-year plan. You're going into year 4. How do you think this program building has progressed, and what would you like to see this year and in the coming years?
I think it's progressed well. We've had a great staff. They've worked hard. My recruiting coordinator, Lauren DeFalco, has done a great job of coordinating all our recruiting efforts, and our other staff, Marissa, Tiffany, and the rest of them have done a great job. But I just think, our talent levels is as high as it's been, but we're very inexperienced. So it's still not going to be there. We don't have veteran players like Shakina and Alicia, Didi, Deja. But we're going to get better each year. I think this can be our best team in years to come if they stay together and stay injury-free. But I think we have a lot of hard work and, like I said, a big transition ahead of us.
Yeah, that's saying a lot, that after the 3 years that you've had, that you think this year's team could be as good at talent-wise as any of the other years past. You had a lot of talent in the past few years. You have Lubertia Gordon, who's interior presence inside, but you have to replace a lot of production, I guess, on the perimeter and on the outside. How do you incorporate the newcomers with the holdovers?
It's going to be a challenge. There's no question about it. Our young kids are hardworking. They do a lot of great things, and they do a lot of inexperienced things. We don't have the veteran presence at the point guard spot, first and foremost, which is going to be an issue. But they're talented. Letitia Smith learned a year behind Shakina and is getting there, but still has a ways to go. But she works very hard. And KK Hilaire is one of the more talented freshmen we've signed in our 3 years here at Seton Hall, but she's very inexperienced as well. So I think they're talented, but they have a long way to go. With that being said, you have a kid like Katie Healy who's steady and determined, but needs to increase her overall strength and skill level. So we have great skill level with inexperience. We have great leadership with still increasing our skill level. So if I could mold them all together right now, we'd be good. But eventually those 3 are going to be tremendous players in our program and leaders. And we have great talent on the wings. But just they're so inexperienced. They're still learning how to run off a screen properly, read a screen properly, handle the physicality of the Big East women's basketball. So they're getting there, but they're going to be good. And then a kid like Jaquan Jackson is going to be an important part of our team because she set out last year. She's a transfer from La Tech. She'll play for us. I think she'll be able to score the ball, but we've got to do a good job setting her up too.
I guess the way you are coaching this team before the season starts is a little bit different than past seasons because you've had more experience, so you may not have had to stress certain things on the court before the season started. I guess, do you have to change or just adjust the way you coach given that you're experienced compared to inexperienced?
It's a tremendous question. I do. I think you have to tell these kids they're doing a good job and what's good and what they're performing well at. Well, with Didi and Deja and Alicia and Kina, I could not tell them anything for a week, and it was no big deal. The other day, we had a kid fall down in practice, get up, run to the other end of the floor and block a shot. That I expected out of Janae and all these kids, Janae Johnson. This kid, I was like, great job, way to go, because, this kid might have stayed down on the floor because she's a freshman. She's been like, oh, my God, I got hit. You learn, you came a long way, and I have to do a good job of making sure they know each day and each thing when someone's doing something well.
I know it's kind of hard to project when do you think all of this will gel, but when do you want all of the newcomers to get acclimated and used to your coaching style? When do you think, or when do you hope that all of it comes together this season?
I think you make another good point in that question. Coaching style. I'm a very passionate coach. I'm very transparent. I'm going to wear my emotions on my sleeve. A lot of the kids have to get used to that too. Like for Kina and Alicia, like I keep saying that, and Didi, Deja, they're like, yeah, whatever, Coach B. They got it. Janae, Janae comes to practice and gives me a hug. Meanwhile, I think the other kids want to kill me sometimes. But, I think it's going to take time. I don't know if it'll happen, a month, 3 months, or 6 months, or the whole year. We might have to go through a hard transition, wins and losses, with these kids playing a lot of minutes. So next year, the light bulb will flash, and then all of a sudden we're back in the NCAA tournament picture.
You think you'll be in the NCAA tournament picture this year?
I think it's going to be hard. I think, can we win the Big East tournament? Yes, possibly, if we mature and we all click by then. But we're not going to be able to win enough regular season games to get that at large this year. It's going to be just too difficult for us with the inexperience and the schedule that we have. But that doesn't mean we can't achieve our goal at the end of the year and play better than we have at the end of the year with our other teams.
Not only are you passionate, it seems as if you are real as well, because you're talking about, maybe this team might be too young, may not get it in time.
But they're talented. And you never know when the light bulb's going to click, because when it does and there's talented players can play, we're going to be very good. But I'm also done this for a long time, and I don't want to put so much pressure and expectations on them that, guys, if we don't win these regular season games, we're not going to get in that large. No, let's play these regular season games. Let's learn from them and figure it out.
One of the more frank coaches that we have gotten to talk to. We've talked to a lot of frank coaches. Tony Bozzella, his name is not Frank. Tony, thank you so very much for the time. It's a pleasure getting to talk with you again. Best of luck and success to you and the Pirates in 2016-2017.
And great seeing you again. Thank you.